Stars make every player on the team better. Michael Jordan, his ability to challenge himself, his natural ability physically of being able to play with such great energy, his intelligence, basketball intelligence, all those things I think were remarkable. I enjoyed coaching Michael Jordan because he had a respect for coaches and he had a desire to play at a peak level, and he's willing to follow instructions without, wanting to over-dominate the game. Even as a young player, there were times in the fourth quarter where he would make up the difference in a ball game on his own. I had to bring Michael in my office and say, Michael, when's the last time someone who led the league in scoring won a championship? Thought about it a bit. He said, Rick Barry. I said, yeah, that's right, in the 70s. But it's very rare that person that wins scoring championship is also on a championship team. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to move the ball around and we're going to take the spotlight off you all the time and involve the other players on your team. He said, oh, you're going to have that equal opportunity offense. Well, what's going to happen when the 24-second clock gets under 5 seconds? We'll coach the players how to get the ball to you in that particular time so you can activate the ball. Save that terrific scoring ability for the fourth quarter. He laughed and he accepted the responsibility. And the other thing that we did is we moved him from a guard to a forward position. We really wanted to win the series in Chicago, game 5, and we lost this game and we flew out to Utah to play the 6th game, and Michael said, we're going to end it tonight. You guys get ready for this ball game because we're not going 7. Going into the game, we kind of knew what we had to do to win the game. You had to play close, but come out and win the game in the last 5 minutes. The timeout that I did take with about 40-some seconds to go. That was the key, because knowing Jerry Sloan and having coached against him many times, I knew that if we could go down and score and make it a one-possession game, that he wouldn't call a timeout. We'll run the open. Dennis will, run a pick or set a pick or slip a pick, depending upon what Ostertag does. And Michael, you can double back on Malone if you have the ability. You saw the crowd rise behind that whole activity. You could see the anticipation that they had that this was a crucial moment. Michael changed the idea and pulled up for the jumper instead of taking it to the hoop and finished it. We called that season The Last Dance, and I thought, for an ending of a career, there could have been nothing sweeter than what Michael had just done.
All right, fellas, let's get out of the box quickly. Do what we did last time, take a shot.
What time is it?
Game time! Woo!
Every great plot has its twist. Game 5 of the NBA Finals was no exception. In fact, it may have shifted the momentum in this series. Michael Jordan was hitting the back of the rim all night. Meanwhile, Karl Malone finally found his rhythm, 39 points. And he had help, most notably from an unlikely source, forward Antoine Carr. Called upon in the second half, Carr had 5 attempts from the field. He made all 5. Chicago couldn't close it out at home. So we're back in Utah for Game 6, coming up next.
Twilight over the century-old Utah State Capitol building, just above downtown Salt Lake City. We now go over to Dan Roberts, the PA announcer for tonight's game.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to the Delta Center for game number 6 of the NBA Finals with the Chicago Bulls and our Utah Jazz. And now, barring number 30, starting forward number...
Welcome, everyone, to Game 6 of the NBA Finals. I'm Kevin Harlan, and with me, former NBA Coach of the Year Mike Fratello and former player Clark Kellogg. On our sideline tonight, reporter David Aldridge. Mike, the only reason this series was extended to Game 6 is because of Utah's adjustments in Game 5.
The screen and roll is a big part of their offense. They went away from it. Instead, they posted Karl Malone, inserted Antoine Carr, who gave them another shooter. So when Pippen doubled, they could kick the ball to the open man.
And for Chicago in Game 5, Tony Kukoc coming up big, Clark. He had 30 points, but Jordan and Pippen could not get it going.
That's why we always talk about the importance of the team. It's rare that either guy, Pippen or Jordan, is off his game, let alone both of them at the same time. Jordan just couldn't find the range, and Pippen was ineffective against Hornacek in the low post.
It was so surprising, but Hornacek did a great job.
Yeah.
On the floor for the Chicago Bulls, Luke Longley is at the 5. The forwards, Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc. And at the guard positions, Ron Harper and the great Michael Jordan. And so for the Utah Jazz, it's Adam Keefe and Karl Malone inside. Brian Russell at the 3 and also tasked with defending Michael Jordan. And the skilled backcourt of Jeff Hornacek and John Stockton.
When you look at how the Bulls have played on the road this postseason, they're only 4-4. And most of those losses have come against their toughest opponents, Utah and Indiana.
Clearly, he's found his rhythm early in this one, looking to score whenever he can, whenever he has it.
And this team encourages him to be active on offense because they understand how dangerous he can be.
Now, here's Stockton. Passes it to Keefe. Yep, that one goes. Clark, of course, it took Chicago 7 games to get past Indiana. And as a former Pacer, I know how proud you are of those players from Indianapolis.
No question about it, Kevin. Being part of that franchise's history and seeing that Indiana team push the Bulls harder than any team had during this dynasty, impressive.
It was. Hornacek following the three-point attempt by Michael Jordan. Hornacek against Pippen. The shot's good from Hornacek. And a big question in this game will be how effective Scottie Pippen can be with this back spasm issue.
Well, in Game 5, he was only 2 of 16 from the floor. But he gave them 11 boards, 11 assists, and 3 steals. Can he find a way to impact the game tonight?
Like he did in Game 5, you're right.
He has a particular set of skills, and they're very fun to watch.
Stockton against Harper. Stockton in the high post. Pass to Malone. Here's Russell. Good, and it's Malone picking up the assist.
Malone, an outstanding passer at the power forward position. He's got really good floor awareness and has a really good understanding of when to get the ball to the open man.
Now here's Jordan. He's got 8. Hands it from downtown. Jordan's got 11 points. And a big Game 5 for Tony Kukoc. You know, Clark, he made as many shots in just 13 attempts as Jordan and Pippen made collectively, and it combined 42. I mean, that's just amazing.
Yeah, his efficiency was off the charts, and I don't think the Bulls fed him enough. They got to remedy that tonight, though, Kevin.
You're right.
And Karl Malone, the 1997 league MVP, has a full package of offensive firepower. Inside, outside, he gets it done in multiple ways.
And first team all defense 2 years running. Give him credit. He's an elite two-way player.
Jazz trail by 5. Malone outside. The pass to Hornacek. On the wing, Stockton. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's Jordan with the rebound. The Bulls leading by 5. Pass to Harper. From deep, Jordan. The Bulls with the finish line in sight. Looking for their 6th ring in the last 8 years. 1:43 left to play here in the first. And Mike, coming into this game, Malone said he wanted to attack the paint early.
That's right. Looking to put pressure on the rim and, if possible, get Rodman and Longley in early foul trouble. Got some space in the mid-range, but wasn't able to convert. Still, not a bad chance for him.
A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. And it's the Jazz's ball. 8-point game. Russell passes to Stockton. Russell looking around. Up top, Hornacek. Kicks it out to Malone. 5 on the clock. Here's Stockton. That one wide left.
From the mid-range, you really want to avoid contested attempts.
Pulls up on the wing, and the Bulls tack on 2 more.
Their scoring has been a problem. Been tough to handle.
And it's enabled them to establish a substantial lead in the early going.
Hey, Clark, with the injury issues to Pippen and Harper, so much falling on the big shoulders of Michael Jordan.
And we know those shoulders are broad and capable, and we're used to thinking of Michael Jordan as superhuman, but he's now in his 30s playing big minutes. Does he have enough to climb another hurdle? We'll see.
It's going to be interesting to find out. So, Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Carr, he's checked in for Keefe. Morris comes in for Russell. Anderson, he's checked in for Jeff Hornacek. And Isley subbed in for John Stockton. So, Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Wennington, he's checked in for Longley. Rodman comes in for Kukoc. Burrell, he's checked in for Pippen. And Kerr's subbed in for Harper. Out to the wing. Carr, the pass to Malone. To end the run. No good on the layup. Michael Jordan getting it done for Chicago. What an amazing quarter. There was absolutely no stopping him. We come back right after this. Welcome back to the second quarter of the NBA Finals, Game 6 here in Utah, as the Chicago Bulls look to close out the Jazz. But do they have enough left in the tank to get it done?
And these Bulls have to feel like the time is now to close out the series. They do not want it getting to a Game 7 on the road.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Bulls. Burrell out there with Rodman. Then there's Wennington. Then it's Jordan. And it's Kerr in at the 1. Anderson can't get it to go.
Boy, defense non-existent there, but they catch a break as he whiffs it.
And Clark, the Bulls looking to close it out tonight. Critical, since very few teams have been able to win a Finals Game 7 on the road.
And you know what, Kevin? If it got to that point, all the momentum would be with the Jazz, having battled back from down 3-1. The Bulls gotta play like this is the Game 7 here.
Oh, once again, you've mapped it out well, Clark. Morris with the bucket.
I think he's got to show more fight than that. Can't give up on the play once you get screened. You got to continue to fight through.
And coach is definitely going to be frustrated with that effort, or lack of one, that is.
Seems to me, Clark, like the Bulls doing a pretty good job of containing the terrific Karl Malone.
Well, you're seeing the same thing I'm seeing. And after his big showing in Game 5, Kevin, they knew that would be a critical element tonight. Bottle up Malone.
That's right, top of the priority list. And here's Anderson, following the three-pointer by Michael Jordan. Malone a screen on Kerr. Jordan with the rebound.
The defense willing to concede the mid-range. As the lesser of evils, it paid off there.
Makes it off the glass. Jordan's got 28.
I like that they're putting in the work, trying to build this lead out.
Because in the NBA, no lead is safe.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Jazz. Michael Jordan really making a difference here.
They simply have no answer for him right now. He's making them pay dearly for it.
And the Jazz with some changes. Russell, he's checked in for Morris. Hornacek comes in for Anderson. And it's Stockton in for Isley. The Bulls also changing it up. Kukoc comes in for Wennington. Scottie Pippen is subbed in for Burrell. Malone passes to Carr. Hornacek with it. Passes it to Stockton. Shot clock at 5. He's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
And in these particular playoffs, the Bulls have lost 4 of their last 5 on the road. They know they've got to get busy and handle their business now.
Then for 3. The rebound by Carr. And so Stockton will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. They trail by 16. For Utah, Howard Isley is suffering the effects of vertigo. Here's David Aldridge with more.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, Isley is a key part of this Jazz team, the backup point guard. He told me before the game he's still a bit dizzy and a little disoriented. The trainers and coaches will keep tabs on him throughout the game. If he can't go, John Stockton will take those minutes and put even more pressure on his 36-year-old body. Back to you guys.
It's a lot to ask. David, thank you. Isley, Mike, is an important part of the squad, isn't he?
Well, he's second on the Jazz so far this series in assists. More importantly, Howard gives John Stockton a break. It allows him to rest a little.
He'll need it. Here's Malone. Following the basket by Michael Jordan. Tries again. And Malone puts it in. Malone's got his second bucket.
Boy, that big reach of Malone, so effective on the glass, helping him to get to the loose ball so he can throw it back in the hole.
From deep, Jordan. Offensive rebound. The shot's good. Rodman making the play. 32 points for Michael Jordan.
Great feed by Rodman.
And in this MVP battle so far, Michael Jordan is coming out, I think, Coach, on top.
Yeah, Karl Malone not having the same impact as MJ. That's been a factor.
Huge.
And the Utah Jazz not getting a lot from their center position in this series. Both Greg Ostertag and Jeff Forster, relative non-factors.
Now, here is Russell.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Stockton left side. It doesn't go for him. The Bulls leading by 16. Here's Jordan. He can't get that one. And the Jazz with possession here. Russell kicks to Hornacek. Malone a screen on Jordan. Hornacek passes to Malone. No good there. So the Bulls will take it the other way. And for the Jazz's center trouble, Clark, you can't help but recall the trade deadline deal that almost brought center Ronnie Cycli to Utah.
You know, Kevin, that trade was a done deal, but then somehow it just fell apart and fell through. A big man averaging 15 and 7 in Orlando. Boy, he could have really helped.
Oh, you said it. Stockton's shot is good.
It's easy to understand why Stockton is so efficient. He takes smart shots, a high IQ player.
From him, fans love seeing this kind of dunk.
How about that? Just giving the people, Clark, what they want to see.
Gotta give them what they want.
Yep.
And you heard their reaction. They were all about that finish.
And so it's Utah here with the ball after the Bulls pick up 2. Malone kicks to Russell. Stockton outside. From deep. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Jordan's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Pass to Kerr. Fires from deep. Rodman dishes to Jordan. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And the 3-ball is good. Kukoc just got his first 3 points of the game.
Kukoc, a reliable shooter off the catch. He's got a nice, sweet lefty stroke.
Stockton against Kerr. The pass to Carr. The shot that time, not on target.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul. Substitution on the court.
And here's Jordan out. What a play. Simply trains it in at the buzzer.
Fighting to the last second, hits the buzzer beater right here.
He's got so much confidence in himself, regardless of how much time is left.
And so it's the Chicago Bulls holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes. Welcome back to the second half of Game 6 in the NBA Finals here in Salt Lake City, Utah. The Jazz trying to force a Game 7 against the defending champion Chicago Bulls in front of these tremendous fans. So it's Utah now.
And not just Scottie Pippen dealing with a bad back. John Stockton also dealing with back issues.
Malone is out there with Keith. Then there's Hornacek. Then there's John Stockton. And it's Russell in at the small forward. That's the group for Jerry Sloan getting going here in the second half.
Nice job that time by Kukoc using the wingspan to get a hand on it.
The drive by Jordan. 1/2 remaining between Chicago and Jordan winning their 6th championship. And it's the Jazz's ball. Outside, Russell. Up top, Hornacek. Over Jordan. Kukoc grabs the miss. And apparently Clark Stockton got a back adjustment at halftime.
Well, Kevin, you know, at this point in the season, just about everybody is dealing with some kind of ailment. It's really a battle of attrition.
It is. And here's Jordan outside. Buries the long-range jumper. Jordan's got 42 in the game.
Showing just how dominant he can be. He's just carrying this offense right now.
Malone sets the pick for Stockton. Malone right side. 6 to shoot. That's good. And a nice assist from Stockton. Malone's got 6 points.
Poetry in motion. Malone is just automatic from the mid-range area.
And, you know, you look at the Jazz with Malone and their other bigs, they've got a significant size advantage inside. But the Bulls have done a nice job holding their own on the glass.
Mike, you were talking about the size comparison between these two teams. The Bulls are a lot bigger on the perimeter.
Yeah, Harper and Jordan both 6'6". Contrast that with the Jazz, Stockton at 6'1", Hornacek 6'3". They don't have the same length on the wings.
Right, it is on display for sure. Malone outside. Dishes it to Hornacek. Hands it from short range. Hornacek's got his 2nd basket of the night.
That's a money play for this team. Hornacek in a catch and shoot.
Outside, Jordan. Kicks it to Kukoc. Back to Jordan. There's the 3. Launches a 3. Rebound, Utah.
And you look at Karl Malone, 6'9", 250 pounds, just a Goliath. The Bulls are hard-pressed to deal with his physicality inside.
Hornacek passes to Malone. That one falls. 8 points for Karl Malone.
Especially lethal in pick and rolls. Malone enjoys dissecting the defense in these sets.
Jordan outside. Longley, a screen on Russell. From deep, Jordan. They get it back. Outside, Harper. The fader. Can't hit that one. So Utah will take it the other way. And Clark, you talk about defending Malone. Dennis Rodman is game for that challenge. He's game for any challenge, but that one in particular.
Yeah, with Dennis Rodman, it's about embracing that hard-nosed physical play. And we know that Rodman is a guy who never backs up from that.
No, he doesn't. Here's Keith. Misses the 3, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. To the inside. Just over 3.5 minutes through the 3rd quarter of play now. Here's Malone. It's tipped.
Hard to shoot over 7'2". Longley getting all of that one.
And Jordan throws it down.
Terrific work in transition, sprinting out ahead of the defense and getting to the right spot.
And it's clear the game plan is to attack in transition as much as possible, which is exactly what they've been doing.
Coach, Michael Jordan is having himself a game. Wow.
Outplaying Karl Malone to this point. The Bulls getting the better of that superstar matchup.
And here's Jordan. He'll bring it up for Chicago. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the 2nd half.
He's having a nice night tonight. The option for this team so far.
Trying to find a way out of this rut, Mike.
Yeah, looking to regain some momentum offensively.
Jordan against Hornacek. Missed inside.
That's exactly the look they wanted, guys. Right guy, right play, wrong result.
And the dunk by Jordan.
Playing well on both ends of the floor, stifling defense and dangerous O. That's a heck of a combo.
That's what has built this lead.
1:12 left in the third. Here's Stockton. Malone sets the pick for Stockton. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Michael Jordan on the wing, guarded by Malone. And the shot goes in.
Terrific focus to get to the basket there.
Surprised they left him that much of a lane to work with.
Outside, Malone.
Chicago foul. Ron
So Utah ends up going with the new group. Chicago also making some changes. Dennis Rodman is checked in for Longley. Bushler comes in for Scottie Pippen. And Steve Kerr is subbed in for Harper. There's 45 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Isley. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. He kicks to Foster over Rodman. They can't stop the run with that one. And it's the Bulls with the ball. And here's Jordan outside. He can't get that one to fall. Anderson against Kukoc. Here's Isley. The kick out to Anderson. Pass to Isley. Here's Foster. Over Kerr. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. The Bulls on top as they end the third quarter with a massive 16-6 run. And we'll have the start of the fourth quarter for you as soon. We're back for the fourth quarter of play here in Game 6. The Utah Jazz and the Chicago Bulls, for the second year in a row, battling for an NBA championship. It all comes down to this.
And you look at it, John Stockton, 36 years of age, Karl Malone at 34. You wonder, is this their last best chance at a title?
So with Rodman on the bench, this is Phil Jackson's lineup. Bushler is out there with Jordan. Then it's Simpkins. Then there's Bill Wennington. And it's Burrell in at the 3 spot. Here's the break from the arc. Another 3 for Chicago.
The number of the second half, 3. They are drilling shots.
And that starts with ball movement, putting your shooters in good positions.
Foster passes to Isley. Passes it to Foster. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Jordan's got 7 rebounds in the game. And Stockton at this point has played more playoff games, Clark, than anyone in NBA history without winning a title.
Boy, you certainly respect the number of deep runs that he's been part of. And at this point, all he wants is a ring.
Because he's going to the Hall of Fame, but you're right. This has got to be the one thing absent on his resume.
No doubt.
Now we go to David for a quick take.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, when you think about Michael Jordan's legacy, this is a guy with nothing left to prove, but he plays every game as if he has everything to prove. And it's part of what's made him great and part of what he's done for the game of basketball and this Bulls organization, which has won more with him than it ever did before he got here. Guys?
Puts it in perspective, D.A. Thank you. Mike Air Jordan. Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest of all time.
What more can we ask for? What has he done for the game of basketball and the NBA as a whole? It's simply remarkable.
Well, no one has covered more big Jordan games than you, Mike. You would know.
Brian Russell's size, he's 6'7" and 225 pounds, and he's got good athleticism, too. Really makes him the best defensive option for Utah in playing Michael Jordan.
Now the Bulls with it. Big run right now going for him, 11-2. Lets it go from deep. Sinks the three-pointer.
It's been a barrage of threes here in this last quarter, pouring it on from deep.
They were saving their best shooting for last, hitting 3 after 3.
And Russell drafted in the second round back in '93, Mike. He's played his entire career with the Jazz.
And he's not on the floor for his offense. His role for this Jazz team is to be a wing stopper.
Anderson outside. Morris outside. Pass to Isley. Anderson outside. Nice ball movement by Utah. Shot clock at 6. Isley, the pass to Ostertag. Shoots over Longley. Ostertag, no good.
Tell you what, you can feel their frustration underneath the surface. It's actually palpable with all these misses.
They're trying to shake it off, but every time they come up short, the panic starts to set in.
Anderson up top. Morris outside. Over to the left wing. Here's Isley. Here's Ostertag. It's hauled in by Longley. Longley's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Here's Jordan. They get it back. The 3 ball. For 3. And the Bulls get it back. And Jordan throws it down.
Don't you just love watching big men pass it? Nice job, Luke.
Looking to stem the tide, Mike.
Somehow, anyhow, trying to stop this run.
Foster a screen on Jordan. Here's Isley, defended by Jordan. And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And there's the call. Chicago with a foul.
Solid move from Foster, getting the defense to commit the foul.
That's good from Foster. Keefe is checked in for Utah. And a change for the Bulls. Steve Kerr's checked in for Burrell. And here's Jordan outside. Good on the triple.
You are asking for trouble if you're going to allow that kind of shooter that kind of a good look. You can't let that happen.
Let's face it, they have not done a good job staying attached to shooters. And it shows in the score.
And the dunk by Jordan.
Turning defense into emphatic offense.
And Clark, we might see a timeout coming up here.
For sure.
Yeah, that is the definition of a momentum play. His team is fired up right now.
Takes a step back. Foster is screen on Kerr.
Well, there's a reason it was way off. He got fouled.
Yeah, easy whistle.
3rd personal foul. 3rd team foul.
And he makes the first.
At the line for the Jazz, Howard Isley.
Good on both. And here's Jordan. He'll bring it up for Chicago. They've only given up 5 points here in the 4th quarter. 1:31 left in the 4th quarter. Isley the pass to Morris. There's a screen to the paint, to the wing on the left. Here's the 3. The Jazz again can't hit it. Here's Jordan driving inside.
Michael Jordan.
And it's the Jazz's ball. Isley the pass to Morris. Now here's Anderson. Back to Morris. Shot from free throw range. Anderson can't get it to go. And so here is Chicago. And here's Jordan outside. Buries it from 3-point range.
And this run has helped seal the win.
Give them credit for executing down the stretch. Nice work.
41 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Keefe with a screen on Kerr and finished off by Anderson.
Incredible finish, and they made it look easy.
Don't you love to see that beautiful alley-oop? Wow.
Talk about a major throwdown. That was special.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Keith, 2nd personal foul.
Free throw good, Jordan.
Shooting for Chicago.
And so Jordan nails both of them. There's 25 seconds left in the game. Anderson outside.
Chicago foul. Michael Jordan. That's his 1st personal foul. 4th
Free throw,
team foul.
good, Anderson.
At the line for Utah, Jefferson Anderson. Taking 2.
And both free throws good for Anderson. Here's Jordan. So the Bulls will get it one more time. This could be Jordan's last. The three-pointer is right on target.
With him, the scouting report says you've got to go over the screen.
Absolutely. He'll hurt you from deep. So you have to fight through those picks.
And the foul called on Michael Jordan.
Second personal foul.
So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot two. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Outside, Jordan. Good.
During this final quarter, he has erupted from outside the arc. You just assume every three he takes now is going down.
And the Chicago Bulls win their sixth championship, completing a second three-peat. Without question, Mike, one of the greatest dynasties this league has ever seen.
6 championships in 8 seasons. A decade of dominance. The 90s have belonged to Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls.
And this title run for the Bulls, arguably, Clark, their most difficult, with age and injuries and even some palace intrigue. But for the moment, merely jubilation.
You covered it all there, Kevin. What a remarkable run. And now we'll just have to wait and see whether they